Do 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 do. You're gonna hear me roar. Oh 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 oh. Oh 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 oh. So I got the eye of the tiger, London fighter's a champion. You're gonna hear me roar. Oh 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 oh. Keep. Oh man. All right. Well, Azorius for Wall of Fire could be worse. Hopefully it'll be. Hey, what's up, Trex? Figured y'all might want to see this. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what kind of time y'all are on. Maybe you don't want to fucking see it. Let's do that. Auto pay. Boom. Hey, what's up, Rabbit Daring? Is he gonna run? Delta Quadrant. Adam Algar. What's up, guys? I think me and this dude are literally fighting for the Wall of Fire right now. But as we know from Highland, what Highlander teaches us is there can only be one. So, you know. I would imagine he's going to put down the instant with soldiers, the flash, resolute reinforcements. Oh, interesting. Couch Ninja, how you doing? Veteran, okay. Alright, we actually have to get rid. If he's going to swing it with Talia, we actually have to get rid of Siege Vet, not Talia. Yeah. Cool. My turn. It sucks having to leave Talia there, but Siege Vet will cost way more trouble. Oof, Siege Vet again. Put it on him. Alright. We're going to have to do that. Boom. Let's do that then. Bango. Alright, so we can do Bloodthirsty Adversary. Sky rockets in flight. Woo! Afternoon delight. Whoop. I don't think he can do 12 damage right now. There's Resolute Reinforcements, as I expected. I knew he had one in his hand. There's very few instances that soldiers play, aside from Resolute. Recruitment Officer, he's really loading down on the stuff here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Doesn't really matter because it's going to cost me 1. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Cancel. Decline. Could have put that down. Fuck that up. Unless the only way he wins is if he puts down. Oh, okay. I'm actually fine with that. Okay, he's not gonna put down. Let's do this. Misha's Foundry. We don't want that. Your Demir Toxic got you to Mythic last season, Couch Ninja. Thank you so much. Matrix CRCSR2. What's up? The burn deck, yeah. So I was worried he was gonna play that. There's another fucking Talia. I was worried he's gonna play that flyer guy because that's like an instant kill. Yeah, that guy. That fucking guy. All right. So at least we have this. Chase Alexander. How you doing, man? He's got a double. He's got a block, and he's got a block. 3. Pop, pop. Looking pretty good right now. He's only got 1 card. And there it is, folks. There it is. A mere moments to spare. We got it. We finally fucking clutched it after suffering. Suffering. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Sometimes you got to go mono red burn. The other games were just taking too goddamn long. Honestly, I played mono red this morning and got from high diamond 2 to here because every other deck that I was playing was taking fucking 5 minutes a game. And as soon as I started going bad, as soon as like by turn 2, if the game wasn't fucking working, if I was backwards, I just quit and moved on to the next one. So that was the idea. I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna mono red out because it's just too damn long. Every game is 5-10 minutes long because I'm getting dragged down. Yeah, I'm winning. Yeah, I actually seen some Toxic on the whatchamacallit. Toxic's been making a comeback. But 25 hours remaining. Hit the M. Hit the M finally. Ugh. Which means I'm never gonna play again ever in the history of the world. I'm not gonna play. I'm done with Magic. I'm retiring. Goodbye, everyone. No, I'm fucking with you. Tomorrow, guys, by the way, tomorrow we have early access. So if you're not there, what are you even doing with your life? What are you even doing with your life? Just play Toxic. I didn't like your Portal. So also, I'm going to do some theory crafting today. We might do some of that right now. Dana's hungry for more vampire flesh. I haven't made my vampire deck yet. I got to do historic. I had the idea. Me and Trex were fighting so much. I had the idea to potentially do a vampire versus dinosaur. I think dragons might make a comeback. Mono red with a high end of dragons might be pretty hard, especially with that guy, the human that turns into a dragon. Might be pretty interesting plays here. Your job interview, what are you interviewing for? What are you interviewing for, Cookies? Chief Baker. Contractor for transcription. Oh, transcription. Okay. Hold on, let me pull up Aether Hub. I want to try to theory craft a little bit. Well, let me close my work browser. I don't want to fucking get that out of there. Okay. So, hey, what's up, Kimpachi? How you doing, bro? Okay. Do. Just chilling, sit down later, and watch some of my YouTube vids. Thank you, thank you. Well, welcome to the show. I am trying to do something real quick here. Okay, all right. So I'm trying to theory craft this fairy deck for tomorrow. I'm trying to Rakdos Vamps with a blood token. Very good. Still Rakdos Vamps still doing stuff. Still throwing up stuff. All right. Let me do that. Chrome, it should be Aether Hub. There we go. Okay. Boom. There we go. All right. So zombies. Who's asking for zombies? Favorite new standard deck in the past year? Probably, we have some really good. Mono Black Sheoldred is very fun. In the past year, probably Nazguls. Golgari Nazguls and Mono Black Nazguls. Just so much fun. I love those Nazguls. But yeah, so let's take a look at this Aether Hub right here. Trying to build a... I'm short cards here. I'm trying to build heavy on the blue. You got Fairy Mastermind, Fairy Vandal, kind of card draw with Likeness and Looter, Orbrod Dreaming Duelist, and Halo Forger, Rankle's Prankle, and the end on the high end. Trying to figure out what else to do with... just find... I know I need removal. So I have 10 cards left for this one. I really like Likeness Looter. Likeness Looter is okay. Well, it's okay. It works well with Fairy Vandal because it lets you draw and discard. And then it can become a thing. But it also, I feel like it's kind of wasted doing what it's doing here. Because it kind of is supposed to imitate something big. But you have to pay the mana value. Halo Forager is nice for repeating something from your graveyard. Oberyn is really nice because I like to put out fairies and it's a gain and drain. So the more fairies we put out, the more gain and drain. Well, not gain, just drain. So the invasion that covers Prickle. Yeah, Prickle Fairies, I thought about putting that in. Let me go. That's called, that's in Eldraine. That's Invasion of Eldraine. It's a little expensive. It's a 4-drop. That's the other problem that I had. That's the other problem that I had. All right, hold on one second, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff right now at the same time. Okay. What are we thinking? Any favorite cards in Eldraine just for one I seen? I did a whole podcast on my favorite cards from Eldraine, as a matter of fact. A whole entire podcast. My top 5. You must have missed it. Yes, let me link you. Me and I did my top 6 cards plus the number 1 card coming out. So I want you to go check out that podcast because it's going to do you a lot more in depth. Oh, of course, the bot did it right there. I'm 4 damn just hit my power playing Magic, playing a forest Oppo scoops. One time I hit Mythic, I hit the wall of fire. I actually have a video of it because it's really funny. I hit the wall of fire and I was like, all right, here we go. We're going into it. And I loaded in. I got my mulligan. I was like, all right, here we go. And the other guy mulliganed and scooped. And I was like, well, and I think that was the first time I ever made Mythic. And I was expecting an epic battle and dude was just like, crappy opener. Bye. It's just BM to Oppo. What do you mean BM to Oppo? It's a bowel movement to Oppo. Alright, so we have Invasion to Eldraine. Discard 2 cards. See, I like that. I might want to go into the discarding. I feel like, because I have Rankle's Prankle here too. And I feel like discarding into that is a good option as well, because that's 2 cards. So I feel like at 4, when we're starting to discard some of the higher stuff, that's good too. The question is, do I open with a little bit more discarded goodness as it goes? But then I have a decent amount of 4 drops, and then I don't know. The flip side of Eldraine, the flip side of Eldraine, let me see the view card details. Is okay. It's a fairy. If it has opponents as few 2, Prickle Fairies deal 2 damage to them at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. So do we want to go for a late game card denial strategy? So that's kind of the question. Is that something that we're thinking about doing? Definitely want the N for late to middle game removal. But the question is, I think I'm going to need early removal as well. Painful Quandary or something. I feel like Painful Quandary is a little bit on the high end there. I feel like we're kind of taxing ourselves trying to do Painful Quandary. Hey, what's up, Chase Awake? Welcome. Guys, make sure to like the video. So, if we're going to let's do some cut down. Let's do some cut down. Do we want to do some direct card draw? Hey, what's up, Darren? The real question is more card draw or more fairies. Let's see, I have Magic Arena open, so let's go back to Arena real quick. Let's hide that. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, I think I built a fairy deck that's incomplete down here. Yeah, here we go. All right. Fairy Mastermind, Fairy Vandal, Harry. So we're gonna do cut down. I have the early access client on my computer, but it's just not going up till tomorrow. Cut your losses. Let's do cut down. Let's do go for the throat. This is just easier to draw a card. Draw card. So give me some ideas, guys. Throw something out there to theorycraft a little bit. Okay. Painful Quandary or something. It could be a high end. We could go back to Painful Quandary. The problem I always have with Painful Quandary, it comes out so late in the game and everyone's running counters. I mean, we might be able to get it in it's going to be an interesting one. Draw a card when you hit opponent's face. What's that do? Combat research? So I think the flying and the gain and drain is going to be our win con. As long as creature's legendary has a ward and +1/+1. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Combat research. That's not at all, not a bad idea, Trex. I like it. I like it. Okay, so let's add combat research. I think I'll add... Are they printing a new combat research? I don't think they are. I think if I put 2 and then I put some scry or some surveil in the deck, I think that's probably what we're missing. Surveil might not be a bad idea. Surveil 1. I think Consider might be a... Or Otherworldly Gaze. Otherworldly Gaze is Surveil 3. Otherworldly Gaze is Surveil 3. That might not be a bad idea either. Let's take a look here. With a flashback. I actually like that. I'm going to put in Otherworldly Gaze in there. Well, Likeness Looter puts steals things out of the graveyard, so I'm not really worried about putting a... I'm not really about putting creatures in there. Okay, so Fairy Mastermind. I mean, this is kind of just a preliminary idea. This is just kind of preliminary. What's my CMC? CMC should be pretty low. CMC, yeah, 2.2 CMC. Okay, let's take a look here. Do do do. Okay. Stern Lesson? Stern Lesson he's recommending. Let's take a look at Stern Lesson. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, create a taps Power Stone. Potentially. It's a little expensive, but good idea. Maybe it was a fever dream. All right, so we're going to record a little bit of Theorycraft right here. We're going to record a little bit of Theorycraft right here. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, J Villain, aka That Villain J. And tonight, we have a very interesting treat for you. I'm doing a little bit of theory crafting. Tomorrow, I'm putting this up to hype everybody up. Tomorrow, early access, 24 hours. I've got complete access to all of Eldraine. So if you want to check that out and see these decks that I'm theory crafting, that I'm building right now, live and in person, come join us. Join us on our stream, twitch.tv/thatvillainj for a live streaming goodness. Hit the bell and follow us on YouTube. We'll be streaming both on YouTube and Twitch, because right now we're going to be looking at how to theory craft, what we think we're going to be building. My best kind of abstract ideas about a Fairy Dimir deck of the new Eldraine stuff. So I don't have it up right now. I have kind of the rough framework that I've been building with here, kind of what we already have existing for the previous cards and what we can add for the new cards. So we're going to go back and forth looking between this and Aether Hub, which is where I put all of my put all of my deck builds right there. You can actually take a look at the full card list. Actually, let me show you real quick right here. Boom, there it is. So on Aether Hub, you can see we actually have the full card list, including the new cards like this and all that stuff like that. So this is going to be a short one because we can't actually play this deck, but we can take a look at kind of the underlying ideas that I've had. So as a Dimir, kind of life drain, heavy on the flyers, card draw, card superiority, a little bit of denial. I'm kind of going generally pretty broad with this one. I think it's going to be interesting. And I'm not saying that I'm married to this one, but basically this is kind of my idea anyways. So we're going to, of course, start with cut down, some familiar stuff, removing creatures, early creatures. We do take a little bit, we're not super aggro, so cut down is good early removal, but we can do any. Combat research, I think, is going to probably be making a comeback with all the card draw, with legendaries that we have. That's going to be a good one right there. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's going to be very useful with Fairy Vandal coming forward, because whenever you draw a card, your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Fairy Vandal. Growing and growing and growing. Pretty much every single creature we have is flying. So we are kind of pushing high end on flying right there. That is really going to be our win con, swinging in with flying and life drain. We're also going with Fairy Mastermind, which I have never really played with before. I actually have none of him crafted. He's flash, he's flying, he's a 2/1, and whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, we draw a card. Then we can force each player to draw a card if we want to. So we can actually force card draw on somebody else. It's fun to play this with Sheldra and do other stuff with it, but pretty cool overall. The art is Yuta Takahashi. He's the world champ. So Another fairy one right there. Now, these cheap 2-drop fairies are all going to kind of lead into who is our, functionally, the commander, the head, the captain of the deck, is going to be Obyra, Dreaming Duelist. I really like this new card right here. This is the one from Eldraine. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me zoom in a little bit so you can get a nice tight view of this. Okay, so we have Obyra, Dreaming Duelist. This is going to be key right here because she is a 2-drop, 2/2 fairy warrior. She's a legendary creature, which makes her a great target for combat research, because then she'll get +1/+1 and has ward. And whenever a fairy enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. So really effective when you consider we have like 20 fairies that can enter. We can really augment the amount of damage that we're doing, the amount of life drain that we're doing with Obyra, Dreaming Duelist. And as only a common, as an uncommon card, we're really not breaking the bank for building a new deck. So this is kind of, I'm trying to make it kind of budget conscious, that maybe going into this new set, you're not going to have a lot of wilds or something like that. The only new rare that we're going to have is going to be Likeness Looter. This is going to be a really interesting one here. This is a 1/1, this is a 1/1 fairy shapeshifter. You can draw a card and discard a card. Again, we're kind of focusing on card superiority here. That is going to be kind of our key. So card draw and loose, and then of course we can pay X, and it becomes a copy of target creature in your graveyard with a mana value of X, accepted as flying, and this ability activate only sorcery. So we can get up to some trickery with this one later on. We can definitely do some more shenanigans with it. But it also lets us bring back Fairy Mastermind, Fairy Vandal, focus on getting those other things out there. And again, all these fairies are just 2-drops, so we're moving pretty quickly when it comes to hitting people on the high end right there. Hitting people pretty quickly with flyers, so it can be pretty effective. Aside from combat research, we're gonna have Otherworldly Gaze for a Surveil. Basically, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put any one of them. It's Surveils 3, basically, which is you look at the top 3, it's like Scry. You look at the top 3, put the rest in your graveyard and the rest in the top of your library in any order. It lets you kind of filter out some stuff. You can either put it in your graveyard, bring it back, which is very nice with Likeness Looter, because we can put a card that is potentially we just want to copy. If we have Lightning Looter, we put it in the graveyard and draw something else. That's a good one to put in there. Surveil, I think, works well with fairies. Make Disappear for a little bit of counterspelling for their high end. Go for the Throat for alternative removal. Halo Forager is a card that I don't think got a lot of attention here. When it comes into the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from mana value X from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell, you put in graveyard X on instead. So with kind of a kicker here, we can recast Otherworldly Gaze, Combat Research. That's not an instant or sorcery. We can recast Cut Down or Go for the Throat or something like that. Or even Rankle's Prankle and the End. Here are the other high-end cards that we're putting in here. I really like Rankle's Prankle. Rankle is a fairy. He's an evil fairy, so we like him. Choose one or more, meaning that for 4 mana, you can choose all of these if you want. Each player discard 2 cards, which is very nice for the discard ability on the high end. Each player loses 4 life, or each player sacrifices 2 creature. You can force all of those. So 4 mana, you're getting lose 4 life, sacrifice 2 creatures, and discard 2 cards. That is a hard hit. That is another rare, but man, I think that's going to be pretty common in mono black decks. I definitely think that's going to be something we're going to be running into a lot more. And of course, the End, which was one of my favorite ones on the top 10 podcast that we did. If you looked at the Black Council podcast, where we actually picked our top 12 cards coming out. For 4, as an instant, you exile a creature or planeswalker. You search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that permanent, and exile them, then shuffle and draw cards for each X card exiled that way. So if they have Sheldred and you want it gone from the game, it's gone from the game. If they have Wandering Emperor and you want it gone from the game, it's gone from the game. Extremely effective removal there for only 4. Really nice. As instant speed as well. Then I have to kind of do Invasion of Eldraine, of course, on its back end here. Prickle Fairies on the back end. And of course, Eldraine, it's sideways here, unfortunately. What it does say is it's a 1 black and 3. It has an invasion cost of 4. When Invasion of Eldraine enters the battlefield, Target opponent discards 2 cards. So it forces discard 2 cards, which fits nicely with Rankle. Then if you kill it, if you do the 4 damage to it, at the beginning of you get the Prickle Fairies, and those are 2/2 flying. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player has 2 or fewer cards in hand. It deals 2 damage to them. So forcing discard, keeping cards out of their hand, extremely useful for kind of getting that drain effect on the hand here, and just hitting them for little bits, just a whole swarm of little bits of damage overall, I think is going to be pretty effective. I do think it's going to be pretty effective at kind of killing out your opponent. So this is kind of the idea. I'm not able to play it yet, but I want you to remember, we are going to be playing early access tomorrow. I'm going to build this deck tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to be here. It's going to be live and in person. We are going to make it. We are going to run it along with a bunch of other decks. We're going to run Rats. We're going to run Knights. All the major ones. Azorius, not Azorius, but Orzhov. Enchantments is going to be one. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool. I think we're going to like it. So this is kind of my theory crafting idea for some aggressive, mid-range aggressive fairies that we can kind of hit off with a lot of things. Darkslick Source, Shipwreck, Marsh, and Underground River. Yeah, that's what we're going to do right there. So pretty much overall, pretty standard mana break right there. 2.2 average. We might only need 23 lands. We have 24. So we might be able to squeeze in an extra card or two. Pretty even on blue-black. And I don't think it's a little hard on your rares. It is a lot of rares. No mythic rares. The one good thing about it is that the only ones that I would recommend being mythic, the rares that you're going to need from the new set, is probably Likeness Looter and Rankle's Prank. You don't really need the end if you don't want it, but I'm trying to make it a little easier on crafting some of this stuff as we go into it. It's not fully artisan, but a lot of the rares that we have are from the previous set. So hopefully that'll make it a little lighter on the wallet right there. Fairy Mastermind being one of them. But overall, you could adjust it and make it a little cheaper. I think Rankle's Prank and Likeness Looter are the only ones you're really going to need. Obera, of course, is an uncommon, as we said, so it should be pretty light in the wallet. That's my new Farron run right here. You can check it out in Aether Hub. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about it. What other decks do you want to see built tomorrow during early access? I'd love to know. I'm excited to get back into some Dimir that's not just Dimir Denial or Dimir, board lock, basically. Nothing but counter spells and board wipes. I'm excited to get into some Dimir that's more card draw, that's more flyers, tricky stuff. A classic form of Dimir. I used to be a Dimir main. I used to play it a lot. So hope you like this one. Just a little theory crafting before tomorrow. Make sure you're there. Be there or be square. We got early access. I've been Jay Villain, and you've been great. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed. All right, guys. We did a little thing right there. We did a little something. A little something, something. A little something, something. Is there a fairy lord? There is. It's the Kindly Lord, and I didn't think that he fits in the deck, Matthew Ludovico. His name is the Kindly Lord. Talion, the Kindly Lord. I didn't think he fit. Honestly, I'm going to have to play this guy to see if he's any damn good. Because he's a 4-drop for a 3/4, or her, rather. And you choose a number between 1 and 10 whenever opponent casts a spell with that mana value, power, or toughness equal to the number you chose. They lose 2 life and you draw a card. That is a very, very if-then deck. That is a very if-then card. I don't know if we're really going to want that. I'm going to have to actually see if that's effective, because you could pick 3 and then they never cast another 3 again in the whole game. So that's a really tricky one to try to figure out. I think with some card peeking and viewing of their hand, I think that's maybe possible. But I don't know, man. I'm very hesitant to work anything with Talion. He looks cool. He might be cool, but overall he might not be the one we're really looking for there. It might not be the vibe, man. So yeah. Hey, what's up? If you can hand peek. Yeah, I think with Duress, I think if we do something like more of a discard deck, I think he might be better, D. Lawson. If we're really focusing on looking at their hand. So really kind of like foreknowledge type stuff, he might be the better bet there. But overall, I don't know. Even then, it might be hard to figure him out. you know, it might be difficult for him to work correctly. I don't know. Ego Drain is very good. Ego Drain is what they call Thoughtseize at home. So again, we could modify this. That's a great early one. Let's take a look at Ego Drain right there. That's what Ego Drain is. Let me pull it up for you. Boof, boof. That's Ego Drain. So I think that's actually Talion in the card art there. 1 black sorcery. Reveals their hand, non-land card from it, discards a card. If you don't control fairy, exile a card from your hand. It's not great on turn 1 because you're also losing a card too. So later in the game, it's night. Ego Drain might be pretty good overall. So we're going to have to look at the discard ability of fairies too. I don't know if we want to go Gain and Drain and go over the top, or we want to focus on more tricky. I feel if we're really trying to get tricky with it, we're going to lose more games than something more direct. So yeah, that's kind of my idea, is that if we really try to double down on being real kind of snazzy, we're just going to lose to a more direct type of deck, you know, mono red or, you know, green stompy or something like that. So I feel like it's going to be real tricky to get the wins off, and that'll be cool if you can do it, but I feel like it's going to be a little tricky and not really worth it overall. Anyways, well, I'm going to leave you right there, guys, because I'm supposed to be at work. We also passed the Wall of Fire tonight, which is kind of why I wanted to show you all going live. We did this. Boom. Got it. So, yeah. Easy clap. Yeah. Mono Red pushed us over, so that was nice. All right, guys. I'll be back tonight. I'll see you then, boys. And then tomorrow, please, guys, hit your notifications. You gotta come by. You gotta come hang out at the stream tomorrow. We're doing early access. Whatever cards you want to see in action, I will build it. I will make the deck. Please just come hang out. I really want you there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. We are going live for, I think, maybe 3 or 4 hours. I think we're gonna try to do of live stuff. So yeah. Overall, it's gonna be pretty good. We're gonna do a lot of early access stuff. So tomorrow afternoon, we're gonna take a break for dinner and try to rest my eyes a little bit, and then we're gonna do tomorrow night, and then tomorrow, and then Friday morning as well. So be there for all that. I've been Jay Villain. You've been great. I'm gonna send you off on your way to somebody else. I don't know who else is streaming right now. I don't normally stream at this time, but I just wanted to say hi and film a little thing for y'all. Almost at 2,000 followers on Twitch. That's pretty cool. Really nobody on. Oh, we're right around the flag. You know what? Let's try to find a small person. Let's try to find a small creator that, like, somebody with no views. Dungeon Fam. All right, we'll see you guys. Until next time, I've been Jay Bill, and you be great. Adios, everyone. We'll see you on the flip side and the twip side on the #1 Kip side. Peace out.